Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baharuchak Wadash. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, the GMS who teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the whole four elect, pushing this gospel amongst the four winds with truth and sincerity. To you I say Shalom. This is your brother Paratham with a quick lesson, rather just going into the perpetual hatred of Esau that he has for Jacob, our forefather. Right, whose name was changed to Israel. So this is for the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole, West Indians, and Haitians of that legendary bloodline of the Bible that God speaks of. We are the apple of the Lord's eye. Okay, so I just got some precepts, man. Just, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and uplifting. Just going into further, just pushing the gospel, man. Right. Making things more evident than they already are, right? So I'm opening up with Genesis 27, 40 and 41, where it all started. It says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, Esau's blessing, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And this happened under the time of King David, right? So that prophecy is passed already. All right, it's verse 41. It's twofold, though. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. All right. So this was the birth of that perpetual hatred that Esau had for Jacob. Why? Because he supplanted him. Word Jacob literally means to supplant, right? Esau was the older brother. Okay, he was to get the, according to our law, he was to get, it was his birthright to get, the inheritance. But this is all the Lord's will, baby. And we're going to further dive into it, man. So let's jump to, and there's so many precepts. I may have to part two this lesson. I'm going to let the Spirit deal, man. Let me jump to Amos. Amos 1 and 6, right to the point. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Gaza and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. Gaza is going back to the Philistines, which go back to Ham, right? The so-called Africans. It says, because they carried away captive the whole captivity to deliver them to Edom. Deliver who? Israel. Right? Our ancestors, our forefathers and foremothers, man. It's verse 7. It says, but I will send a fire on the wall of Gaza, which shall devour the palaces thereof. And let me just go into the blue letter to give it edification's sake. Azza the strong, another name for Gaza, a city of the Philistines located in the extreme southwest of Palestine, close to the Mediterranean. Yeah, so these are Hamites, right? Also, that's his 6 again. The latter ended 6. I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they carried away captive the whole captivity to deliver them to Edom. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the red man, the wicked that the Bible speaks of. And I Googled, what did I say? I said, what did the Africans receive in exchange for the slaves from the Europeans? All right. And this is an AI overview, real quick, for edification. In exchange for the enslaved Africans, the Hebrew Israelites, right? Because it's often said that the Africans sold Africans. That was after this, because we'll get into it. Africans, in fact, sold us. As we migrated to the western coast of Africa, fleeing captivity from the Romans and the Edomites. So it says, in exchange, that's another lesson too, man. It's crazy how they lied to us. In exchange for enslaved Hebrew Israelites, Europeans, Edomites provided African traders with goods such as textiles, firearms, alcohol, and various manufactured items. These were not necessarily equal in value to the enslaved people, the Hebrews, and the trade significantly altered African society, sometimes leading to warfare and instability. So the transatlantic slave trade led to the downfall of Africa because we, us, everywhere we go, Jacob is the former of all things, right? Scriptures say that we are the salt of the earth, the Israelites. So when we migrated to the western coast of Africa, we made Africa great. It was already a great land, great nation, but we made it greater and we left our print on it, right? And let's just keep going. It says textiles, cloth often imported from Europe, was a common trade item. The firearms, guns, and ammunition were highly sought after and became a major part of the exchange, particularly in later periods, which led to the downfall of Africa. Alcohol, spirits like rum were also traded, sometimes leading to social problems to the African communities. Yeah, them spirits, man, demons jumping on you, lowering your frequency and your vibrations. The manufactured goods, this included items like beads, metal goods like pots and pans and other trinkets. Other items, salt, tobacco, and various tools were also a part of the trade, right? And I'm going to end it off here. It says it's important to note that trade was not always fair. This clearly was a landslide, right? They got these items, right, in exchange for an investment that would lead to the foundations, or would lead to America, ultimately. It says trade was not always fair. The value of the goods exchanged varied greatly. It says the demands for enslaved people in the Americas fueled the trade. European traders were often willing to offer a wide range of goods to secure captives. This trade also had a profound impact on African societies, leading to increased warfare, political instability, and the expansion of slavery within Africa itself. So yeah, they started trading each other and other nations that came across and all that. They started a trend, if you will, right? So that's it on that little American history, right? Let's jump back to the scriptures. And I'm gonna jump down to Amos 1:11, right, which is going to further the point and bring it full circle. Amos 1:11, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Jacob and Esau, right? The perpetual hatred of Esau for his brother Jacob. Let me there's so much. Let me jump to Lamentations, and I'm gonna break this down into parts too, Lord willing, man. It's Lamentations 4. We're gonna jump right to the point, because this is a beautiful chapter as well. Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. Thou dwellest in the land of Uz, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. That's us, the Israelites. Say Isaiah 40:1 and 2 also goes into how our warfare is accomplished. Meaning again that our, iniquity is accomplished, if you will. His punishment is almost over. We're almost done. Right? We're at the latter end of our captivity. It says, continuing in 22, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom, and he will discover thy sins. Now, to further prove that, we could jump to Obadiah 1. And I'm going to start at verse 10. We usually start up right to the point, but I'm going to start at 10 and go on down. Verse 9. And thy mighty man, O Teman, shall be dismayed. I believe Teman is the Germans. And to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter for the violence against thy brother Jacob. Shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. It says, in the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem. Even thou was one of them. Yeah, we just read in Amos 1 and 6 that, you know, in exchange for goods, textiles and alcohol and guns, right, and different precious metals, Esau was received as before his brothers by blood. Continuing, it says, verse 12, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their Salakia. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of